Welcome back, everybody, man. New episode, Flavor in Your Ear podcast. We got a special guest. You know, somebody told me the other day why I always say special. Every guest I got is special. They got a story to tell. So I'm going to continue to say that they special because they are special. They're giving me time of day to come out and tell their story. So, and today's going to be a good one because not only is it a good story in terms of an individual journey, but you're going to get some good stories about some juicy stuff, some content, right? So
yeah, I mean something like that.
Yeah. So it's a two-way hitter. All right. So my special guest, DJ Genesis, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. It's good to be on the Flavor in Your Ear podcast. You know
Appreciate it.
That's what's up?
All right.
Appreciate being here, brother.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you for coming. That's the most important thing.
Of course, man. You know what I mean? Miami's always busy, but you know, if anybody wants to take the time to talk to your boy about things that they want to learn about me, I'm here, man. So I'm here to support and be a part of the progress, man.
So what I think we should always start is like how we start this podcast is always who you were before DJ Genesis, how you got there, what was the mindset to get there, what got you to that point, what brought you to be DJ Genesis. We know a little bit of the story, right? We've already brushed on that, but let's give them, how it started, the house parties, all of
that. But shout out to you for starting too. You know what I'm saying? You guys are up to about 131, I believe. 151, I heard before the show. 151. So make sure you guys subscribe. And Harris, a couple of videos got 1,000 views. So I'm gonna try to get to. My goal is to get to about 3K, 4K. You know what I mean? So just make it happen.
No complaints here.
I mean, make sure you subscribe. Daddy, these guys are doing an amazing job. So yeah, how did it start, man? DJ Genesis, where it all begins, right? That's just that's actually what Genesis means. You know, it means the beginning. So how it started was, I was about 20, man. I loved the vibe of a party, man. I never forget doing my graduation party from Miami-Dade. I went to Miami-Dade. Shout out to the Sharks. Anybody that represent MD. Of course, man. Miami-Dade heavy in these streets, man.
Special, baby.
Hey, man. We heavy in these streets, man. We may not say it a lot, but we heavy in these streets, Miami-Dade. You know, so after I graduated from Miami-Dade, me and my friends, we got together, and 3 of us were graduating together. We was like, yo, we want to throw a party. Yeah. We was like, all right, cool, no problem, yo. And we were funding it ourselves, like some 19-year-old kids that were trying to get out there, you know what I mean? And we got a hotel ballroom, and we were like, yo, we need a DJ or whatnot, right? So we went out, we was trying to scope some DJs, and all the DJs were very expensive. My friend was like, no.
Always, yeah.
She's like, no, we're not doing that. You know? Yeah. He's like, yo, Chris, you just got to figure it out. And I was like, chew, what I'm going to do. So there were a couple mixtapes that were out there. We got a lot of Caribbean people in our family and in our friends, so a couple of those mixtapes that was out there, and I had a little program on the computer. I can't remember the name it was, but I was able to cut some of these mixtapes up and like make an extended mix for like the party or whatnot, right? And it came out pretty well, you know what I mean? Shout out to those DJs that had those mixes that I was able to chop. Yeah. Select the Renegade, Black Chinese, those guys. So I was able to get those CDs and kind of like make a little bootleg vibe, and everybody was jamming to it at the party, and they were like, yo, this is pretty good. And so from there, a couple of people was at the party. I really had an interest of like, yo, putting music together. So I don't know if I was going to go down the production alley or probably the DJ alley, but one of my good friends at the time introduced me to her boyfriend at the time, who was an actual DJ. They were DJing. They had a couple little equipment at the crib and stuff like that. And soon after, it just seemed to connect for me to start learning the actual craft of DJing. Right. This is about 2003, 2004, whatnot. So that's when I started the actual craft of putting the skill together, man. I didn't have a name yet. I didn't know what I was going to be good at. I didn't know if I was going to be good. I just knew that this was something I wanted to try because it was a challenge and it was something that I figured I could be good at.
So I got a couple questions. Yeah, man. Out of everything we just said. One, do you think the art of the house party has died? Like, you know, when we was kids, house parties were big, right? We had the movies. It was like a thing. It was an epic thing for a kid to have a house party, right? Booty music, the Uncle Al, Uncle Luke, all that stuff. You think that has lost its touch?
No, the reason why
we just old.
I think we're just old. Right? We maybe some of us, especially if you're in that 30 to 40 age range, whatever, you're probably now getting your house. You probably now got your first crib, and you probably got young kids. Yeah. So you're probably not gonna put your house up for house parties. You know what I mean? You're not inviting a lot of people over to
I think I would be that cool parent though.
I mean, you know,
I'd rather at my house than somebody else's.
I know, but I'm saying if you have young kids, if your kids are like 4 or 5, you're not really having a house. It's until they get older, you know what I mean? Because I was able to be privy to do a couple of these parties. So when you get house parties and kids are like 16, 17, 18 years old, those house parties still rocking.
So you think these young bucks are still...
Oh, for sure. I know that. I know they have a little... There's some guys down in like the Kendall area, the Coral Gables area that promote stuff, and they have like they mansion parties because these little rich kids don't really have anywhere to really go to hang out. Yeah. So some of their parents allow them to come to their houses here, there, and they have a little promotion crew like that does this stuff. So trust me, the house parties are still rocking. We may not know about them because we may not have. Yeah, we don't have kids that age that's doing it yet. So we like in that middle tier. Yeah. You know, but trust me, the house parties are definitely rocking here in South Florida, man.
Okay, yeah. Sure. I remember when I was a kid, man. House party 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
oh
man.
My God.
I don't know about adults.
It was like an era.
It was. I mean, we still party, but maybe not to that extent. The kids are doing it, but in terms of adults, I think probably once you get 40, 45, that's when you get back into that house party. Your friends don't really want to go nowhere. 444. Yeah, you know what I mean.
You want that grown man tip.
But house parties are still popping, especially in Florida where you got backyards and big houses. Yeah, trust me, ain't nothing like a good house party in South Florida, man. Because we got all the amenities to make it happen and make it be dope.
All right, so you said you didn't even have the name yet. How did the name
come about, yo? So I kind of grew up Christian, you know, Christian household or whatnot. So I was actually at a friend's house and I was in her apartment and coming out I was coming out the shower and she just had a bunch of flyers on her wall, just around the wall, and I was just like, and one of them just said Genesis and it just stood out. You know, like I guess it was the name of the party. And I was like, yo, I didn't have a name. I was going through some, you know, Inspector, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a bunch of weird stuff that I was trying to figure out. And when I saw Genesis, it just clicked at that time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it had a bit to do with the Bible and putting that together in terms of how I was brought up. And obviously this new journey that I was about to embark on, you know. So I picked that name. And it was actually Select the Genesis how I started, because I started in the Caribbean scene, and Select the Renegade, who was a big influence on me starting and wanting to know how to craft the DJ, and kind of took the Selector from to show homage. You know, shout out to Select the Renegade, but eventually it switched to DJ Genesis when I was on Mix 96 by Quasi Chris. That's actually a pretty funny story. Okay, but yeah, so I was in her room, and that's how Genesis was born. Real talk, and I stuck with it. Just wanted to see how it would feel, you know, how it would roll off. And I've never had somebody say, yo, that's a terrible name. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then people call me in the streets by Genesis, so I know it's definitely stuck, and people definitely recognize me by.
Now, when you first started, everybody always has like the little learning curve. When did you figure out like, yo, I'm really good at this? This is my jam.
Ooh, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. Definitely about that learning curve. I'll never forget learning how to mix. So the first rhythm or the first song I learned to mix on
real quick. Is it natural or can you learn it? Can anyone just learn it?
If you have rhythm, I think if you have any kind of rhythm, you know what I'm saying, you should be able to learn. If you can count beats, if you can pick up the air for it if you want to, and you have some type of rhythm, you know what I'm saying? I do feel that some people do not have the ear. Okay. You know, like some people don't got it, you know, like they don't have a rhythm bone in their body. But those that has a rhythm, you know, you can pretty, and I played band too. I played the trumpet.
Oh, so you already had,
you know what I'm saying? So I had a little rhythm. I could read notes. I know beats and you know, counts and stuff like that. Okay. But mixing is totally different because you got to catch beats, you know, with another song.
The transitioning.
Yeah, and the transition and so on. So I never learned. I learned on the buyout rhythm, Light Glue. You know that song, Sean Paul, no matter what people say. Exactly. You know what I mean? That rhythm there.
High school era.
Exactly. I learned on that rhythm how to mix and play. You had to cue up from the drop. Those DJs know what I'm talking about. And being able to catch it on, you know, on an 8 count to make sure you mix it in clean and stuff like that. And trust me, the first like week or 2, I was terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was atrocious. Yeah, man. Because what I was learning on, and then we didn't have, we had turntables, and we also had like this Pioneer was coming out with this little push button type controller with CDs, because we were moving from the vinyl to the CD era when I was coming in, when I was starting to DJ. So learning on that, and learn how to fade it up and so on and so forth to be able to catch the beat. Yeah, man, it definitely, because we didn't have computers like we do now where you can see the wave files and you can kind of catch it with your eye. It was all ear. You know what I mean? So definitely going through that was a blessing, because once I was able to do that, it's like getting out of first gear when you're driving a stick shift. Once you can get out of first gear, once you can mix, now it comes into knowledge of music and how I can mix this together, and just with practice. And I was hungry, you know what I'm saying? So to answer your question about the first time I knew this was me was probably when I got love from the people that I looked up to, other DJs. It wasn't really like a party.
That's what I was kind of thinking. Like, the party's rocking.
Party's rocking. Nah, what happens is before the party rock, you got to have the confidence to know you're going to rock the party.
Okay.
How you build that confidence, you don't go, I didn't take it the chance. I knew I was good. I would practice. Obviously, you have small little house parties here where like, yo, this is a vibe. I got them on the dance floor. They've, you know what I'm saying? You got a little checklist that you check off. And then I'll never forget the first time I was able to perform, let's say a big party, let's say over 400 people at Bayside Hut at one of these Generation X events. It was a soca event. And the people was vibing. I had 15 minutes, Ironically, Select the Renegade, the person I named, came and played after me.
Oh,
what I'm saying? It was pretty nuts how all that happens.
And he gave you some props?
Not really. He didn't know who I was, and this is like the heat of the party, so it's like, hey, all right, boom, that's your last song? All right, cool, yeah.
Time for me to take over.
He's
in his mode.
He's in his zone. He's in his zone for sure. So at that particular moment, there's no time for, hey, what's up? Blah, 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 you know what I mean? And me, even at a young age and a young DJ, understood that, like, yo, go rock out, go do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to make sure that I belong here, and I definitely did, because those things you can either lose confidence or gain confidence. And after that, I was like, yeah, I belong. You know what I'm saying? What I've been putting in and the work I've been putting in behind the scenes definitely makes sense. So I would say probably that first gig in front of like 400 or 500 people was probably after I finished. Even though it was a small set, I knew I held my own and I know I can continue.
Yeah.
And then after that, obviously the promoters show you love and so on and so forth. And then you keep building.
So in these, I've always wondered something. When you go to like a club, like a space or any kind of club, are these DJs playing like this playlist that they're playing is usually are they vibing or are they premeditated?
It depends. It depends on
like it starts premeditated and then they go with the flow. How do you do it?
That's a good question. How do I do it? I don't have pretty much. I have playlists in my Serato or crates, you would say, where you have organized music. So I have music from 2000s. I got hip hop from this, so on and so forth. So I know if I need a song where it's going to go.
Yeah, where is that?
But I don't go in premeditating what I'm going to play. Like I'm a crowd reader. Don't get me wrong. There are DJs that do that. Those special DJs, I think they have to do that. Those Tiestos, David Guettas, those DJs that you come to see, for specially, they have their set that you've come to enjoy. They've gotten to a level where it's like, no, you come to hear my playlist and what I do, not what I think is going to rock the party.
And that in itself is like a whole different type
and
of
that's a whole nother level of personality, talent, marketing, all that type of vibe. But a regular party, South Beach, I'm going, we really don't know who the DJ is, and I just happen to be on one of those parties. It's about crowd reading for the most part. Right. But you also know what to entice the crowd with. Some like they say the great DJ.
So this is it right here. This is it. You just said, okay, crowd feeling. First song, how are you going off that? It's just how like, I've seen where we looking. Let me start here.
Well, tempo. You can still remember the DJ still controls the vibe and the energy of the party.
That's true.
And depending on how long your set is, whether 4-hour set would be a different tempo and vibe of that event than if you had a 2-hour set, because depending on where your 2-hour set is in the party, who you're coming after, so on and so forth.
So 4 slower.
4 hour set. You were able to dictate the party probably a little longer.
I'm saying the tempo started slow.
Yeah, or mid range. Sometimes, okay. If we gonna get technical now, I like if I don't know a party and let's say the party's starting and people are starting to enter, I like to start off in between what we would say 95 BPM and like 99.
So that first song could be
mid range. not. Well, it depends. If it's mad
that's the one that sets the tone, right?
No, really. Well, it depends. It depends on the party. Like if I start the party and I'm playing the whole party, maybe no one's in there, so I could just build a vibe to the point where people are building. So it depends on the vibe that I want to set.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, let me set this early 2000s vibe while people are walking in, you know, or I can say, let me set this soul house vibe, you know, whatever the case may be, what you feel, because you also have to understand the vibe of when people are walking in. It ain't to just dance. Some people want to see what the vibe is. They want to know where the bathroom is. They want to go to the bar. They want to chill a little bit.
They want to blend in.
Yeah, they want to vibe. They want to feel the energy, and you have to set that.
Yeah.
If you're too fast with it, or you're giving it what we would say prime time energy at the beginning of the party, you know, you can kill that energy. You can kill the vibe of the party by playing what we would say too fast, too early, you know? So but if I was to now come in, let's say you were playing and you came in and I come in now when the party's hype and I'm supposed to play from 2 to 4 now. My first song is now very important because I can't stop the vibe that you set.
Right.
Now it's a whole nother ball game. You know what I mean? Now it's like, yo, I can do whatever I need to do, but I need to know that I don't kill the party or set the vibe. I need to, whatever I need to do, I need to take it to another. Yeah. Take it to another. At least that's my energy.
But not only just the energy, I feel like that's the competitive too.
Right? I mean, of course it's competitive, man.
He just rocked the show.
He just rocked the show.
So now I got to take it up.
It's always friendly competition,
and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Steal, stop, and steal. Yeah. That's how it goes. Yeah, so if you came and you rocked the party, but rocking the party early is still because a lot of people think rocking the party means you got to play the hits that you know people are gonna rock to now. No, there's so much music out there. It's just you just got to know how to move the crowd. So it's not only is a competition to rock in my lane, right? But also it's friendly enough that I've given you space not to like flop. You know what I'm saying? I've played all the new songs when I wasn't supposed to. Now it's prime time, and but I've rocked it enough that you better, because you can still play new songs and new vibes and not play as well as the person before you.
You know? So if how many years did it take you? Like, obviously we're gonna get into some other stuff, but how many years did it take you to get to a point where, like, it's obviously a lot of networking, right?
Right.
A lot. You got to take a lot of gigs, and the reason why I ask you this is because, again, we always say, like, this podcast, all the stories that we've had here so far, people have reached a point in their career, right? Mm-hmm. And people see it and say, damn, look, this guy works with this guy. This guy works with this guy. This guy works with this guy. We say, yeah, there's a large gap of time that they did work. They put in a lot of time before they got there. Networking also helps, obviously, and knowing some people, but that's part of networking. You grow, and you make a name for yourself. Like that Genesis sticks around. People say, oh, Genesis did that party. Genesis did that. So that name starts to go around. What do you tell the person that's 20 right now that wants to get into a business like this? Is it different now? Is it easier now? You think it's easier now with social media?
It's a good question. I don't know how different it is, because maybe to market yourself and maybe people see you, it's probably a little easier. Yeah. Because we were in the era of like, if you're not around, people are gonna forget you, but people will remember who I am. And today, if I just post pictures of doing stuff, and they may not have seen me for months, right? But people will be like, "Yo, keep going, keep rocking out," or "Hey, can you play it so and so?" You know. But that's me with some type of reputation. A brand new DJ today, I still think you still have to have skill. Right. Yes, you may get some gigs off of, maybe some promoters or somebody just needing somebody, and you just happen to have the equipment and the laptop and music, so they'll give you a chance.
You game ready.
Yeah, you game ready.
And your pricing might be a little...
And your pricing is going to be low.
It's going to be good,
It's going to be, efficient and affordable for them. So that's how you get your chance. I would just say for those guys, just make sure that technically you are very good. Early on, selection is always going to be
based on the party,
and could be depending on your knowledge too. You know what I'm saying? That's selection of music is, to me, based on knowledge of music more so than anything. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
And the more you know more music is the better your selection. So at 20, I would expect your lane to be very, very small, you know, because you just don't know that much music. I think it's impossible unless you're like a junkie. You know what you want to know, and probably a little bit more outside your lane. But as you get older and you get more gigs and you're around more DJs, you're just like, yo, I need that song. I need this. You got to be open to want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And not be scared to implement things that you've seen or heard or ideas that you've put in your head into your set. That's how it grows. So you asked an interesting question about playlist. I may not have a playlist, but I have sets, which is different. So I have an old school set that I can go to that I know will work with the songs in that list, you know, and how I play it, how I mix it makes a difference in how it's received by the crowd.
Right.
It's not just like a play this song and play this song. It's how it's scratched, when it's scratched in, which words we use to play from one song to the next that makes the party a little different, knowing that you got a skill out here and you're just not just mixing one song to the next. You've actually put some thought and effort into blending songs together and almost pretty much telling a story. Right. You know, when you're able to do that now, that's when you're at a level that you know you can rock anywhere.
And I feel like too, like that's like a point where, like, similar to like producing, some of the best producers in the world like are people that love music, like how you're saying, like you gotta be passionate about it. You gotta have
the funny for you say that they may love music. I was telling somebody the other day, they asked me, as a DJ, you must love music. I don't know if I love music. I love what music does to the crowd. You know, so I am a people person and I'm a crowd pleaser, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? So
that's interesting.
From MCing, I love music. Knowing how to talk or whatnot. I know what music can do and music is powerful and not only is a vibe, you know, and when it hits you feel no pain. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I like what it does, and learning the craft of mixing it together for a selected amount of time is a skill set that I love to do. Yeah. But if you were to say, yo, I'm feeling down today, you know what I mean? I need to play some music to lift my spirit. That ain't something that I would do. So I do like music, but to be like, yo, music is my joy. I need to know every single so-and-so. I need some R&B today. I stick, when I'm in my personal time, I kind of stick in my own little lane. Okay. You know, in terms of
so there you have it.
What I like.
For y'all out there trying to become DJing, I guess the best advice is stick to it. You know, grow.
Yeah, stick to it. I think fundamentals, especially if you're young, fundamentals is very important, because a lot of times we lose at the beginning, we get lazy. So you learn how to mix, but you don't want to mix like that for every single song. So every single song isn't coming in as clean as it should, or on beat, or your scratches ain't clean. I would say clean that up, because that to me takes you further. So if I was trying to hire you for a party, the first thing I need to know before selection, do the songs blend together? You know, can you blend songs together? And then after that, I'm like, all right, the songs he's blending, or he or she are blending together, do they make sense? You know, is he trying to create a vibe, or is he mixing via BPM? You know, there's all these questions that you learn as a young, because I was there, you know. So I just think, the first thing I would say, especially as a young DJ, especially if you don't have knowledge, you know, is to be technically sound. And then, you know, there's millions of mixes out there. Get the old school mixes, get the songs, then you can kind of create your own vibe and energy. But it's not hard, because all of the information is out there. I remember when I was trying to get certain songs, old songs, I had to like damn near beg and plead and do like free parties for the DJ and stuff like that, just to get some of the music, because it was so hard to get at the time that I was starting.
Because everything wasn't digital at that time.
It wasn't digital, and some things are on record. Yeah. Some things are, you know what I mean, are hard to find. So older DJs just holding on to their stuff, because, you know, this is a treasure trove, you know? Of course. This is your baby.
Now everything's on the laptop.
Now everything's on the laptop. You can back it up on the cloud. Yeah. But still, I'm still from the era where I got diamonds in my playlist, you know. Yeah. So you're like, yo, you can't lose this, you know, even though it's digital now, you know.
I heard the vinyl game's coming back.
Is it?
Like I don't know. That's what.
Nah, I don't. I think as a
see on social media.
I think it's a specialty, as a niche, as a niche type market, but not. I don't think that's a market. That's one of those things. It's kind of like Netflix to Blockbuster.
I should have rephrased that though. I should have been like, in terms of not DJs, but like people buying them.
Oh, of course, yeah. So because there's a shortage, on how to make them and so on and so forth. So, and obviously records are gonna get older, and you know, and they I guess hold some value, because if you got the pamphlet, actually my dad got a couple old records. He actually got a Thriller record in plastic still. That's
so that's gotta be worth some money.
We'll see. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a whole bunch of, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think people are understanding that. And then what happens is those that like records, you know, at the Earth. So those guys are now like 56. So those guys have want a little reminiscence of their younger days. So they're gonna go cop some records and go from there. So I think it is a niche market. But in terms of DJing, not in terms of like the way they were doing it in the 90s, 80s, and 90s. Like no, all right, not at all.
So let's get into some juicy stuff because you had the pleasure of touring with the beautiful Kelly Rowland. And yes, I said beautiful.
Yeah, Kelly's amazing, man. Yeah, I did have this. Before the show, you was being modest, yo. You were gassing Kelly up earlier, man. Hold on, that was very, very low.
Hold on.
You were gassing up before the show started, man. So you better give it a gas.
Listen, I'm Team Kelly, right? We know the debate is out there, Team Kelly, and I'm not just saying Team Kelly for the music, okay? Team Kelly for the beauty, Team Kelly for everything, okay? I think she's prettier than Beyonce. I think she makes better music than Beyonce. I'm Team Kelly all the way. Beehive, I'm here. You come at me. Good luck, because I don't got social media like that, so you ain't really going to find me. But you know what?
They're going to find you, though. They're going to find you. They want to find you.
Beehive comes find me. This video's going to hit.
I think the Beehive understands, man. I think the Beehive applauds that. I don't think the Beehive looks at it like a
There's no real rivalry there.
Nah, there's no rivalry. Yeah, they're beautiful sisters, and they're both amazing.
They have respect
they're both
for
queens, and I just had the pleasure to be on tour with Kelly, and I can definitely back up some of those, not the verses aspects, but some of the aspects. You can say she's an amazing person. She's a beautiful soul, and she reminds you when she steps on that stage that she's a Grammy Award winning superstar. So that
are
was
her shows mellow, or are they like is she?
Nah, they're live. It depends on what type of show you want. So if you want a long show, hour show, whatnot, you're getting everything in there. You're getting Destiny's Child tracks in there.
She does that?
Yeah, man.
Without them, she's doing solo.
Of course, just like Beyonce does. They got their little segment where they do the tracks, and you gotta remember she got some hits of obviously the joints with Nelly. And some of her album tracks that she does, she has some international tracks. So when she goes overseas, she got some big tracks that are
so hold on.
That are heavy
when she
in
does
London.
The Destiny's Child stuff, is the other verses of the other chicks are playing, and then she goes. Or she
no. Sometimes they will just do the hook and her verse. Obviously you can't just be playing Beyonce's.
The transition is like played out.
It's clean. It's clean. It's already pre-produced.
Okay.
It's the practice.
I never figured that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's all pre-produced. They perform their parts of the song, and then sometimes the hook and the bridge, and so on to extend. Yeah. So they extend the show that way, and yeah. So she does from Bootylicious to all of them. Anything she has records in.
Okay, that's cool.
Anything she has record a verse in or whatnot, she would do the DC part of that, and obviously her tracks. And so
choreography insane, or
yeah, you got dancers in the background. I remember the show that we did in Cairns. Beautiful show. The dancers flew in from England, and she wore a dress from the winner of. There was that show that they would wear a dress. They would make a dress. It was the fashion. I can't remember the name of the show. Somebody help me out.
A fashion show.
Yeah, so it was a fashion show. Comment here, and she wore the dress of the winner at her show. So,
wow.
So it ended up in the papers in Australia and stuff like that. So it was a big deal. So she did. So it's even small things like humanitarian aspects of that while she's performing. Yeah. Making money, doing her thing. Right. She also has these things that she's doing. Business. Yeah, but she's also while she's doing it, she's being a humanitarian at the same time, putting this girl's outfit on blast. She could easily wear Chanel, Gucci, whatever. Of course. But she was like, no, I'm gonna put this
Team
young
Kelly, baby. I don't know what time it is.
Yeah, she put this beautiful artist outfit on blast and show love. So and not only that, on the downtime, in her apartment and stuff like that, she was just real cool, real chill, asked about your family and stuff like that. And but then when she got on stage, she was fierce, man. Yeah. She killed it. So yeah, so I was blessed to be on tour with her.
She got a routine. She goes through. She everybody got that zone.
I don't know. I can't say that I've actually been around her right before her show. She's in her zone. I'm already on stage. I'm already doing the preset before she comes out. So how she is before on the scenes, I actually can't say that.
And now this is premeditated. How the concert is gonna go. It's already,
of course. Yeah, it's all premeditated, all pre-done. Don't get me wrong. There's adjustments. There's some stuff if she wants to go from track 3 to track 7.
Oh, so she'll give you a signal.
Facts, yo.
So what's that? Like a hand?
She'll, they turn around with the mic and she might say, You know, I should do something like that, because you can see it's very close. It's like if you're here, she's like where the camera is, you know, and so she turned around. You can and you're paying attention. You know, you're paying full attention. So,
you got
it's very hard. Oh, you're locked in. Yeah, it's a job. It's not I'm playing music for a crowd for them to put their hands up in the air. This is production now.
Yeah,
this is a different.
She's rocking the show.
Yeah, this is a different aspect than DJing. This is making sure that the performer is right, because volume goes down, it throws them off. You know what I'm saying? Because they're hearing everything that you're playing. So
now if she does that 7 type situation, right? Is that basically because she's vibing, or she's like, I'm not liking?
It could be like what I feel is gonna come next isn't gonna rock. Right. So I'm gonna go straight here.
She feeling off the crowd.
There you go. That's artist, just like a DJ. Just like when you're rocking a party, you'd be like, "Yo, I'm playing this reggae right now, and they ain't feeling it."
A DJ's entertainer, just as much.
Just as much. You could have been like, "Yo, I was gonna play these 3, 4, 5 songs, but they're not feeling these first 2, so I'm just gonna get out of here." You know, so same type of energy that a performer does. You know, and you may extend the song. You might have to loop some stuff. You just got to be on cue when you back there, man. We try to make it as easy as possible, but
and the tour you went on with her was international.
Yeah, that was London, Dubai.
So, do you think the international tours are better than the in-state ones, the domestic? Because like okay, so this is why I say this. This is the only reason why I say this. Because when I watch, I mean, not that I'm big on going to concerts, because I'm really not, but when I've watched, like, you know, DMX and like some certain people have talked about when they've performed international, and I've seen like the pictures that have come out, it feels like it's a whole different like type of appreciation. And I've heard some of these guys say that. You believe that?
I totally believe that. And the reason is they don't get the acts that often. We may, if you want to see your favorite American artist, you're gonna see them at least once a year while they're hot. You know what I mean? Especially if you live in a big city and so on. Like if you live in Miami and you're a big fan, let's say Bad Bunny, not right now. Shout out to the Miami crew. Yo, but you can see Bad Bunny twice a year while he's hot.
And they love coming to Miami.
And they love coming to Miami, whatever the case may be. They don't go international, you know what I'm saying? Because the real money's here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and the more you can stay on American soil, because not only is you getting paid for your concert, then you getting paid for the app part, you get paid for the marketing. It's sometimes different over in overseas how the money runs. But when you get your chance to get over there, they don't see you that often. They might see you. People might see Beyonce while she was hot on a world tour,
right?
Once every 5 years, but she's doing a domestic tour. I mean, I might be wrong about those numbers, but she's not going there every single. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she might go to England or whatever. But like she's not going around the world, Sri Lanka and all China and all this stuff all the time. So when those artists actually touching those cities, it's a big deal because they don't see them that often. You know.
So essentially, we take them a little for granted.
It's not that I don't think we take them for granted. They're just ours.
Not to the fullest extent.
They're just ours, bro. Like it's ours. Like they're here. They're homegrown.
Yeah, we can see her.
We can see. That's how it goes. She's come. I remember I saw Jay-Z 4 times in the span of like a year and a half in Miami, because he was on tour with Justin Timberlake. He came by himself. He came with Kanye. Then he came with Beyonce. You know what I mean? Like, so he can. So if you can, they're here all the time.
So I'll tell you this: the only concert I regret not going to, and if it ever happens, I don't care if they don't come to Miami, but wherever they go, I'll go. I've already saw Nas in New York, so that was checklist.
Check that.
Outkast.
Okay.
They don't. If they ever decide
to come back,
and I regret that. Like when I could have maybe seen them, it's like one of those things where like, man, if they would just do it again. If they weren't coming to Florida, I don't care where they at, I would go.
Go to the ATL when they do the ATL. Yeah, you gotta go to the ATL.
I'm sure it'd be crazy.
That's gonna be nuts, man.
And I'd go anywhere. I mean, even if it's not ATL, I would go anywhere. If they said one concert, this is the one. That's like right here in Miami they do the laser show. Mm-hmm. You know, so I've been like twice, right? I think I went to the Bob Marley one.
Okay.
And I think the other one was not Led Zeppelin, it's like another little rock one. I forgot what it's called though. I might have been under the influence. But
he was definitely
I was definitely under the influence, but I don't remember who the second one was, but it was like a rock thing, and I somebody in the comment section is gonna know the answer to this, but they do Outkast.
Okay.
Every now and then, right? And I've never been able to catch it. And I always miss it. But that's how I feel about Outkast. Like if they ever go back on tour, you know, I saw Farside perform for the last time.
Ooh. My damn. You do that up? Yeah,
man. I love Farside.
Farside is amazing group.
That's when Rock the Bells was here in Miami, and
oh yeah, I remember that. And they would come out, and all the old school guys would come out.
That's how I ended up seeing Nas. I went to Rock the Bells in New York. And I got to see him at the Nikon Center on the water. Oh man, it was it was bucket list check.
Flavor in your ear, you know what I mean?
Because I've seen Nas a couple times, but my goal was to see him in New York. Because I felt like, you know, when you from the city you're from, you're gonna rock a little different.
You gotta see him in the Mecca, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course,
so that's like you said, Outkast and the ATL. They're gonna do it completely different.
It's only right.
It's only right.
It's like when we saw the Super Bowl halftime. In LA,
yeah,
you had the dudes rock it. Come on, them dudes felt at home, man.
Exactly.
There's a different energy.
So touring with Kelly was a great experience.
So yeah, it's one of those experiences that set up my career,
right?
Pretty much, man. Because when you're able to do those things at a young, because this happened when I was about 25 years old. So when I'm able to do those, and for a period after that.
And you forgot. Was that your cousin that set this up?
Yeah, he was. He happened. Shout out to Darren, my cousin, man. He was international manager for the label.
Yep.
So he was able to rock these things. But obviously, I was doing my work and I was, putting in my. Trust me, I got a Guyanese family. Ain't nobody giving you nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, we got an island family. You got to work for that. Yep. It's like so you got to be real good because island family put you in the back like, hey, don't don't embarrass me. You know. Nah, I was definitely doing my thing, and he thought it was, and he did, and I think it's the right thing to do. We as family, this is how you get put on. You can get put on by networking and somebody knowing you, but if your family knows you can do this, I think it's one of the greatest things you can do.
But don't get it twisted. They recognized.
Oh no, he definitely. This wasn't a favor. This is definitely not a favor. Like, because at the end of the day,
because this is something he can't mess up either.
He can't put me on and then I flop and then
it looks bad on him.
Come on, you ain't gonna put yourself in that.
So he already recognized you was ready.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna put your neck out there, for somebody that you don't think is gonna be ready. And I had to take that and run with it. So shout out to him. I tell him all the time, what he did for me definitely changed my perspective on perspective, right? Yeah. On what a DJ can do and where they can go, So
like the limits.
Man. What this thing could do, and not thinking that you're just local and rocking out at local venues is it. You can actually take this thing international. And touch people.
What was your favorite spot? Like what was your favorite out of that tour? Where did you have the most fun? What was the most vibe you had?
Probably VIP room in San Jose.
Okay,
that was pretty vibes. That was fun, man. I was able to rock out. She was supposed to perform, she didn't.
Okay,
this was pretty funny.
So
story.
You did the show?
So I did. This was after. So we did a show in Cairns, and then we had to do a special show for another brand in San Jose.
Okay,
so we drove from Cairns to San Jose. No, I think it's about a 3-hour drive. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. He was in a sprint asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You was getting that energy back.
You gotta get that energy back because Kansas was crazy. Kansas was nuts. And so we heading back to we heading to San Jose. We booking a hotel or whatnot, and then she has to perform at the VIP room. But I believe my cousin made a veto call because he was like, "Yo, go rock out, go rock in the booth." So I'm there rocking out, jamming, MCing. They had a cool little DJ booth. I wonder if it's the same way. You're in the middle and people are around you, just going around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope. So you see the same, like if you see your eye on a girl, she'll be hot right now. You put your head down, she's gone. And she's coming back around. Yeah, the spinning. I'm not spinning, but there's a dance floor around me.
Got it.
That's spinning around me.
Okay.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's nuts. So you're like, yo, what's up, man? You know what I mean? So rocking out for a little bit. And but before that, we was in VIP, getting our drink on, getting a vibe on. And I guess when I was playing, my cousin decided that Kelly might have had a little bit too much to drink.
Oh, okay.
And he decided, because the stage, if you know VIP, where they perform is a very small stage.
They giving y'all the bottles.
It might be, but it's a small stage to perform. Like you're performing on the DJ booth, so you pretty much like a box like this big. Okay. And he was like, yo, if you get up there, you might fall, and we don't want no, you know what I mean, with no liability. She was looking good. She was in a dope green dress. She was looking amazing.
Man, she's always looking good.
She was
I
ready.
saw her do like a little TikTok message the other day. I forgot what it was. I was like, oh, she still looks good.
I can see the video. I'm gonna send them the video so they can put it on the pod. You know, I can see the pictures. So she was looking amazing, man, and he decided that they're not gonna. He's there. You're not performing, yo. So he comes to me while I'm playing. He's like, "Yo, we ain't performing, so the owner's probably gonna come kick you off. So be ready. Wow. And we gotta get out of here before it get ugly. You know what I mean?
But you was rocking it.
No, yeah, we was rocking it. We was killing it. But obviously, we had taken off his DJs that was rocking it to put me on before she was about to perform. You know what I mean? Showing love or whatnot. But thought that she was a little bit too intoxicated and the stage wasn't too big. So, you know what I mean? The asset comes first, you know. So he made that decision, and we was out of there. I ain't never forget getting all of our entourage pushing it through the crowd. This party's thick.
By the way, you said this was a good time, bro. This sounds hectic now. This sounds chaotic.
It was. I'm just saying, I'm all about the experience. You know what I mean? Right. Everything that, because when you DJ and parties and so on and so forth, yeah, you have great parties, but can you tell a story? The party was great. People had a good time. They put their hands in the air. Okay.
That's really what matters.
You know what I mean? But this one was like, this is high stakes. You know what I mean? People are paying you possibly, you know what I'm saying, bread, and now you have to make a decision and so on and so forth.
And she was supposed to perform on this?
So it's something small, and he just was like, crazy. Yeah, we're not doing that. Because we didn't have, at that particular point, because we were just going to show, we didn't have a sound check. It's kind of like a club date. Yeah. You know, and so being able to, but for me personally, you know, rocking out at the VIP room was one of my dope experiences.
So that was one of the dope experiences on the tour.
Yeah. London was dope too.
London, I can imagine. I can imagine. I think you went to France.
We did France, Cannes, Dubai, back to in a couple spots in London. So
about like 3 months,
7, 8, 7, 8 spots over. No, like 6 weeks. It's not that long.
Crazy work.
Yeah, summer.
Not a lot of rest, I'm sure.
Nah, we rested. We had a good time, man. Because what happened is when she's an R&B artist, so they take care of her. It's not like this hip hop shit where it's like you got like buses and they dirty and this weed and this is she's at the Crown Plaza Hotel. You know what I mean? I'm at the one like running. I remember I stayed at the Sofitel.
That's good. That's good.
It was straight. It was amazing.
And nobody complained.
You know what I mean? So trust me, the amenities was great. It's beautiful. So you're also being treated with that particular type of Grammy love. So I appreciated that. Yeah. Because I don't know if I could do that hip hop joint, especially at that time, yo. You know, when you slumming it, you gotta get the bags and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, nah, I'm good.
So here's another thing I saw on Instagram. We won't get too much into it, but this is another one of my future wives. She just doesn't know it yet. Maya? What's Maya like? I remember back in the day, and I can't think of the song right now in my head. She did the video with the China outfit. She had the little China outfit. I can't remember.
You gotta get the song for me, man. You got me under the influence right now. You got me sipping right now. You know what I mean?
Maya back, like when I was in, back in the day, I'm not gonna say my age. It's gonna sound too crazy. But when I was a kid, oh my God, Maya was like big time. Like all her videos were like MTV, boom, 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 like. And then she just kind of like stopped making music, right?
I mean,
she made her bag. She got her bag.
She got her bag, and I mean, I think people grow up. She's probably doing other things, probably producing. Probably, people probably want to start a family. Who knows with relationships, especially when you get older, when you get in your 30s. But I was to back up why you brought up Maya. I was privy to do a show.
I was like, God bless.
Yeah, I was privy to do a show. Shout out to Tone and Mike G up there at Karma Hollywood. We started a night actually called Champagne and R&B on Thursdays, and to open it, Mike G, the promoter, has a relationship, has a friendship, working relationship with Maya, and was able to finesse. I won't say finesse. Was able to get her down to open the night, and I thought it was amazing, and they thought it would be good for me to come and play. You know what I'm saying? She hooked up all the classics. I played her set. Made sure she was good. She felt comfortable.
And she's cool people.
Nah, she's amazing. After the club, we just sitting down talking, and we was talking about the times. It was about COVID and what was going on.
Oh, this was during COVID.
We were kind of like coming in. It was kind of like coming out, kind of, sort of. Yeah. So this is like last year, November. Last year, September. You know what I mean? So you're looking. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's people like teetering. But she did an amazing job. She sang all the classics, Ghetto Superstar, you know, what's the X song? And now I'm
the
showing
song's
my
not
age,
coming.
You know what I mean?
I'm getting flustered
you get mad,
inside.
You get mad.
Yeah, because
Case of the X.
because
you
I
know
know
what
the
I mean?
songs and it's
Ghetto
crazy.
Superstar, of course, the track with Jay-Z.
Rest in peace, ODB.
You know what I mean? True. And the track with Jay-Z, of course.
It's not hitting me right now.
Put that
Damn you,
thing
the
on
Black
me.
Label. We're gonna blame it on the Black Label.
Best of Me. You know,
Best of
so
Me.
there we
That
go.
is
So
one.
yeah,
Okay.
some of her hits, man. So yeah, man. So doing these stuff with these artists is something that I do multiple times. I've had to, you know, perform with Grammy Award winning performing artists, and it just grows the confidence in your sets and what you can do. Because to me, it's not just about DJing; it's about being able to provide, you know, music, a vibe, an energy, or even just being your set DJ, making sure that your music is on time. So there's so many different aspects of DJing other than just playing at the party or playing at the club, you know, where I think a lot of people think DJs only be. There's radio DJs, there's DJs that play on TV shows, you know, like so many different aspects of where DJs can be. Now, obviously, you have the Khaleds now that are now
producing
albums and labels and producing artists and making sure gravitating artists to the next level. So I want to be one of those DJs.
Was he one of the ones that you think like set the tone for that, or maybe it might have been Swiss Beats?
No. You talking about? Right? Well, no. There's been many DJs before. You got
that like started doing the albums, but like they don't really sing in it, but like they just get a bunch of people.
You gotta start with like Melly Mel. This starts in the 90s.
So we're going like, Melly Mel. They wouldn't.
Yeah, man. He's doing a whole album. Yeah, of course.
I remember that.
Well, they were mixtapes then.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Oh, that's true.
Not like I don't think they were. I don't want to disrespect.
No, you're right. It was more.
But they were like more mixtape vibes. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Then obviously from my era is Clue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got like Clue used to put
was
out,
big time.
Exactly, but he used to put out mix, but he would get the freestyles and you know what I'm saying? And then I think Drama and K-Slay, but they had like their own little
That
vibe.
was still mixtapes.
But he's talking about albums and say, yo, this is an official label album.
Right?
I mean, we gotta look that up, but I don't want to.
I feel like it is.
I'm not
like
scared to say
overtime, I think like that was an album.
Like no, those were official label albums. Yeah. I gotta look back and see if a DJ before him.
I think he was the first that did it as an album, not as just a mixtape.
Right. So I think I have to look and see if any of Clue's joints would like. I think because Clue used to drop on Rockefeller and he had like official. So I don't know if official mixtape album is an album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how Khaled now has like videos and stuff. So that might be like a little murky, but that's an interesting question, man. That's a very interesting to see if Khaled is the first one to have like an official, you know, album.
With like he kind of like just taking it from a mixtape standpoint,
right?
And I do remember Clue and Drama. I mean, who can Drama? And I don't want to disrespect.
I don't want to disrespect any DJ. I'm gonna. So I don't want to say he is, but that's definitely one that I'm gonna look up.
Yeah, and I remember. I mean, Drama was going hard with Lil Wayne stuff for a period there that was nuts.
Yeah, him and K-Slay was like the king of drama and stuff like that. They would always have all the beefs on lock and stuff like that. They're the 2000s, but they're the 2000s guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so they did, but they street DJs though. At the end of the day, too. Khaled is not a street DJ.
Yeah.
Khaled is like, I'm producing, I'm putting these big records, I'm making. Khaled is a anthem DJ. Kind of like, I believe, how Swiss Beats produces too. Anthems, you know what I mean? Big tracks.
And at the end of the day, look, this is still, it's still a blessing for everyone that is involved in this, right? This is evolving for all DJs to take it to another level, right? So if one DJ does it like this, now the platform
you think
grows.
you could do it too.
Exactly.
Or you could do something around that ilk. Like me as a DJ, I was, and many others have done it. You pick up a podcast, because you have, as a DJ, you have so many other skill sets that come with being, especially if you are a all around DJ. You can MC, you can play music. That in itself entails confidence.
Yeah.
That entails that you have to read the crowd. That means that you have to be present.
Yeah.
You know, those are all characters and characteristics that we would love to have as just human beings. You know, so being, I think, the biggest blessing for me is being a DJ. It teaches you patience. Yeah. It teaches you obviously how to be ready. it actually teaches you how to be one step ahead.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, because we have to know what song, we have to know multiple songs, but for the lack of time, we have to at least know what the next song is that you're going to want to vibe to. At least, and so our guessing game seems to be pretty good. You know what I mean? So especially if you're a very well-rounded DJ, you know, those things, those characteristics are very, very important.
So let's get into these BET Awards. And this was another, if I remember correctly, this was another family
plug.
network?
Yeah, man. So I'm just to say, I work hard, but my family's very connected. So, and I'm the type of dude that I tell people I kick in doors that's kind of cracked open already. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go in full fledged, but you know what I mean? Yeah, we open doors.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I want people to understand, like, when he says my family's very connected, I want people to understand too is like, it's one thing to say, oh, someone opened the door, right? At the end of the day, somebody always got to open the door, period.
Anybody.
But it's one thing to stay there.
Of course.
And that's important.
That's very important. Yes. I mean, these ain't handouts, man.
Exactly.
These ain't handouts.
And I want the people listening to understand that.
I think that's very important. If you got a uncle that's running let's say right now, running a marketing business, right? And he's about 35 and you like 17, 18 or whatnot. Wouldn't you be like, yo, give me an internship? So especially if your uncle is doing well. Like we're talking, you know what I'm saying, on tour with Kelly Rowland, we talking BT Awards, we talking about this is what my family's working with, you know, and wouldn't you be like, ain't that the easy? That makes sense. Why go around that? You know what I mean? But you have to make sure that I think that's actually harder, because
of course,
if you're just contracted and she finds you and she says, hey man, I heard, she's just judging you on that. Me, I have a whole nother, I got to protect your brand. I got to protect my brand. I got to make sure I do, you know what I mean? It could be a whole lot more pressure, but I like that pressure. I actually like it done that way more than for a stranger. I feel like I go harder for my family in terms of like putting on and making sure I don't not embarrass you, but making sure I put my foot.
You do right.
I do right because you put me on, and I want to make sure that you look good and I look good. And if you the plug, ain't you gonna be more likely to keep it rolling? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and we can always, and then when you have family, like, you can talk candid. You don't have to just talk business. You can talk, hey, yo, we need you for this, but, you know, we might not be able to pay you, or we can pay you a little more. You know what I'm saying? You can have more candid conversations when it's family involved and just anybody. So, a funny thing how my cousin did it. This is a pretty funny story.
Same cousin?
No, there's another one.
So there's another cousin?
Natasha.
So
shout out
different
Tasha.
cousin from the Kelly Rowland situation.
Yes. Another side of the family, you know what I'm saying? So she's been rocking with them, been going to the BET Awards for about 2 years, you know, just on her plug. You know, some people see me on TV and stuff like that, but we plugged in and I'm making connections and so on and so forth. And so now she comes in and I fly to LA and we're helping put together one of the awards pre-shows or whatnot. And she goes, yeah, Chris, I need you to go rock the pre-show, you know? So I was like, okay, but I was dressed well. I had my stuff ready. So I don't know if she was testing me. It was pretty cool, you know?
Yeah.
To be ready, you know, and just be like, all right, let's go. And no pre-warning, you know, no, hey man, when you fly in, make sure you ABC night.
Now, someone didn't show up? Someone
I'm not sure. I think she had it all planned and she was just playing that game. I'm not sure if she has. I think she set it up that way on purpose.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I didn't ask no more questions.
You got paid for this gig, or you were just?
Of course, man.
Okay.
Shout out to Viacom.
Because listen, you might have done it for free just because that's networking in itself.
You know what's funny about that? That's why I knew this is different type of vibe, you know? Because, anybody would have probably done it for free, for exposure, for pictures, or whatnot, the case may be. Yo, the next thing my cousin, after the weekend, she was like, yo, make sure you hit me, yo, so I can get you paid.
Right.
That's the whole nother level now, where it's like, yo, not only did I put you on, I respect your talent enough to pay you the quote that we do for these particular type of events. So that was love, man. So, and what happens is, not only does it do that, it makes me take that forward to my family and people that I love that's close to, in terms of giving them opportunities.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
It builds a confidence in me that I can be confident in them. You know what I mean? Yes, you got to make sure that they talented. Yes, you got to make sure they ain't gonna blow the situation. You know what I mean? But once you give them that opportunity and they succeed, yo, you try to, sky's the limit.
This pre-show is the pre-show that gets it warmed up for the actual...
Right, for the party
so
and whatnot.
Where is this taking place?
This is at the Staples Center.
And the show is at the Staples Center?
Yeah.
But this is like its own room? Or this is like...
It's like outside vibes, outside red carpet energy.
Okay.
Pre-event.
So you've seen everybody
walking through, just looking beautiful.
That's legit, yeah.
It's a great experience, man. So, and when you get to that level, like, you know, your skill set is good enough to rock the party, and you could take in the vibes at the same time. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't got to be nervous to be like, oh. If you're younger, the funniest thing is coming off the Kelly Rowland thing, anytime I'm in that particular type of situation, is actually I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like, yo, I'm,
because you've already been around it.
Yeah, I'm one of y'all, son. And I'm 72. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like in my so heart of hearts, in terms of rocking out and make sure the vibe is good.
Absolutely, man.
So I make sure that I take in the vibe and take in the energy, and that adds to me, giving that energy.
Yeah. And after this show, you say you did some after parties? Did we talk about?
No, we didn't do any after parties.
Okay, so just the pre-show.
Just the pre-show to BET Joy. No, we went to the after party. We went to the after party, and because she gotta do this in steps. You know what I mean? She gotta make sure you're ready. And she already has some headliners out there that rocked the after party. But you know what I'm saying?
Crazy networking going on there.
Crazy networking. So outside of just making sure that you're solidifying your spot in this particular rotation, you're shaking hands and and you making sure other people see you and what you do, and those have paid off. So
what I want to know is, for the people that are listening, that the inspiring DJs, the people that might want to take it, were you already going as a fan of the BET Awards, or were you going like
No, I had the plug. I had the plug. That's why I went.
So I'm gonna give you this example. Every year when the Final Four comes around. Mm-hmm. The March Madness,
right?
They have like this big thing where all the coaches, high school coaches, college coaches, they go and they network together. Mm-hmm. It's like a big weekend, right? So I figured, like, okay, BET Awards is coming, celebrities everywhere, people everywhere. This is like my get up as a DJ to go and network, and that's why you were going, or you were just going?
I had the plug. What happened is, because I got family that's putting together the whole award show. Yeah, I just took like I said, the door was half open. It was cracked open. You know what I mean? So it only makes sense now, because I'm not gonna just be looking to be a part of the gigs and try to get in. Like, I'm gonna be around like real heart of what's going on. So the equity that what I'm gonna put in is gonna be way more efficient than if I'm just going to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know exactly where I'm gonna be. I know who I'm gonna be sitting around. I know what events I'm going to, and so on and so forth. So I could efficiently now be like, yo, I'm gonna meet this person here. I'm gonna see this person here. This DJ's playing here, A, B, C, D, and it makes it more than I'm good. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool, which is fun. But I don't like to operate. I get a little bit more anxious when I'm not sure what's going on. I like to have a situation where I know exactly where I'm going to be and what I'm doing.
So to phrase back what you were saying earlier, because now I'm thinking about it. Mm-hmm. You say, okay, she hit you with the, hey, I need you to get up on the pre-show. You was game. You was war. In the words of DJ Khaled, you was war ready, right? You got your stuff. So how did you? Oh, we're gonna go right back to that. How do you figure out what
the first song is? Oh, man.
And that's my point.
That's a good, because that's a skill set, I think, of the DJ. You got to know what tempo will work for this particular type of environment, man. So I knew I didn't want to get too crazy, because it's not a party.
Yeah.
And I know I wanted to stay within the culture.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make it fun for the people there that's listening, but also still classy. Yeah. There's a lot of boxes to check. So that felt in the lane of like probably like Jeanette Monáe. Okay. Jeanette Monáe, they got a song Queen, that sounds pretty good.
This is the first
that
one?
Jazz. I believe that was probably one, because it has like a soulful jazz touch to it. Yeah. And it was represent for all the queens and the ladies out there that work hard, and the message in the song is pretty good. And then from there, you just try to keep that melody, I can't say what song is going to be second, third, or fourth. That's when the skill starts to get in, and you get into a zone, and you start to, obviously go into old sets that you've done and say, okay, this one works with this works with here. Oh, so and so's here. Let me play. So it's all about being in the moment timing and memory of other events that go with certain songs and being present. And someone's gonna come up here and say, hey, so and so, and stop you from the mix that you were gonna do because now you have to pay attention to the production aspect of it. So a lot of things always go on when you're DJing, but I love it because I love all of that. I love all of that interference and being able to still rock the party and still. Sometimes it's annoying, but I like to fight through all of that, man. So that's why those moments and those things, they don't bother me. They're never overwhelming because you know that you're always ready to just fix whatever may be an issue and to get back to rocking out or just rocking out that particular type of.
How long
was
the
pre-show?
Hour and a half?
About an hour or so. Not too long. Champagne going around.
Champagne! I love champagne, man. I love champagne. That's when you know the party's legit.
The Moet on the rocks. Boy.
Yeah. Now the after parties, everything is your time to network. Hey, did you tell people like, yo, I did that pre-show?
Nah, I didn't tell them I did the pre-show, man. I was because what happens is you get the pictures and the pictures go on to publications and stuff like that. So that tends to get
people
out
already
there.
see it.
People already see it, whatever the case may be. I don't think you gotta go and say, yo, I did that If I was rocking on a mic that for the pregame, you might have said, yo, you see me early at the so and so. You just kind of get your following up. The funny thing is, potentially the next year, because this was 19. Remember, this is all before COVID.
Okay.
So COVID hit and kind of slowed the run because nothing has happened with the BET Awards since in terms of after parties and so on and so forth. We're now getting back to it, so should be get back at it this summer, end of June. We'll be back in LA for the BET Awards. So we'll see how the vibes go, how the restrictions are. And because
it's going down now.
Yeah, I know, but we're still nothing ain't locked in. So because when the corporations start to do it, that's when you know it's over because they don't want no liability.
LA is tight.
LA's tight, yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
We like so relaxed here.
Yeah,
like,
we so relaxed, yo. We
don't know what like the rest of people say like, oh, this is going on over here. Be like, really? Like, man, we don't know what's going on.
We've been partying. You can have it rolling loud, everything down here.
We do things a little different. So okay, now let's get into this. Because this is something I've gone to plenty of times. So I've had the pleasure of at least enjoying it. The Pro-Am.
Oh yeah, the Miami Pro League.
So is that like just so that in itself? Listen, the Miami Pro League is a show in itself, right? Like you don't know where people there to hoop. You don't know where the people. Because so what I get out of the Pro League is again, I go because I'm in the basketball world, and that's just the world that I'm in. But then I also go because you say this is you take it for what it is. You're seeing pro players, professional guys, like whether they're NBAs or just overseas guys or whatever, just guys that know how to hoop,
right?
Play. And it's such the Pro-Am League is such a Miami vibe. It just from like people say, oh, the Drew League, and man, listen, the Drew League is cool and they got all that, but the Drew League ain't got nothing on just the overall like. This thing is a game. Right? Yeah. This thing is a game and a party at the same time. So. This isn't like, oh, I'm gonna go see Kyrie play in LA when they go to the Drew League. It's like, oh, Kyrie's here, KD's here. Those guys are there to hoop.
Yeah.
Here it's like, I'm here to hoop, but I got my jewelry on.
Yeah, it's a big
in my
energy.
Escort. Like it's an energy.
Yeah, man. So shout out to Kyle, Debo, and those guys, and of course Freddie, and myself. Kind of part of the Miami Pro League that's been rocking for the last 4
or 5 years, right?
I believe we going into season. COVID's throwing me off a little bit, so I think we going into season 8. I'm not.
Is that much?
It's that long. It's been a while. It's been a while.
I thought we were like at 6, 5.
I think this is gonna be like my 4th season officially. Okay. So me rocking with them has been a blessing, man.
Yeah.
So being there and seeing exactly what it is that these guys and what we're able to put on every Tuesday and Thursday in the summer at Miami High.
Shout out, alumni.
Shout out to Miami High. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Historic program down here in South Florida.
That's my heart.
You know what I mean? So we're there every Tuesday and Thursday through the month of July, and the first week of August. And dudes are battling, man. We got D1. Some college guys can play. That's going to be coming through to rock out. We got pro guys that come in. Last year we had John Morant. We had what's my man's from Charlotte?
Hello.
Not Melo. The Bridges. We had Miles Bridges come through.
Okay.
We had Jackson from Detroit pull up. We always get some of the Heat players.
We're always gonna get players here. It's Miami.
It's Miami. I know, but I just want to let them know that, you know what I'm saying, this ain't no game.
No.
Because a lot of people think Miami's just like, y'all just party with it. Nah, this is what it.
No,
they changing. We're trying to change the narrative, not to change, but to include Miami basketball in the narrative in South Florida, because it's a football town. You know what I mean?
Football, then baseball.
And baseball. So we trying to make sure. I know the Heat are doing an amazing job doing it, but that's about the only like basketball imprint that we have here. When they come to football, all the way down to high school football, this thing hot. Pee Wee, you know what I mean?
The UM here,
Pop Warner.
Here. Oh, it's interesting fact I read on my way to Houston. I was going to a basketball event a few years ago with Andrew, who was here. We told the story, but on my way to Houston on the flight, trying to keep myself preoccupied because Lord knows I'm scared of flying. I was reading an article. It's interesting, and I wonder how. I don't think that's changed much. This county, Dade County alone, has in the entire country, just this county, we're not talking state of Florida, has the most first round draft picks in the country.
That's not hard to believe, man.
That's crazy.
That's not hard to believe. This is the breeding ground for football players, man. So,
and that whole article talked about, like you said, like the Pee Wee, the culture of
all the way
Pee-wee,
down,
all the
man.
way up.
One of my good homies, rest in peace, Sean Taylor, man.
Man.
You know what I mean? Obviously legend. We know he's a legend. That just did his thing at UM. I used to play. I'm gonna tell you a story about Sean, man. So those that know Miami, we were playing for the church basketball league. We're freshmen in high school, and we're playing league. So we're playing JV, and we're playing versus the varsity. Just a pickup game, just to get our skills sharpened, run plays, blah, blah, blah. Whatever happened, there was a steal by us on the defensive end, and the fast break started, and somebody kicked it out to Sean on the right wing, right? And Sean and the defender's back in the paint waiting. So I'm running the regular, knowledge play. So I kick out to the 3-point line. I'm like, Sean wasn't a 3-point shooter. He's a big dude. Y'all know Sean.
He gonna bully you.
He gonna bully you. So I'm like, yo, there's a dude in the paint. You ain't gonna shoot the 3. Pass it out to pass it out to the guard on the wing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that. I'm waving my hands in the corner, waiting for Sean to make the appropriate smart basketball play, right? What they tell LeBron James makes. He makes a basketball play.
He makes a basketball.
Nah, he MJ'd him. He said no.
Ain't worry about
I'm
that.
going up. The defender was about Rick, man. Defender was about 6'7", man.
Yeah.
The short is about 6'4" or whatever. But he
brolic.
Sean came down to paint, straight cocked it back, and he ended practice. Yo. Let's just say
church over.
Done.
Church league done.
Like, this was in Prime Park, yo.
Oh,
this is
man.
circa like, I don't know, 2000.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's crazy.
Sean just rose up and ended practice. We went straight home after that. No
Don't worry, that
plays.
wasn't the only life he ended.
A lot
of lives were ended after that.
Remember the kicker? The kicker? He ended his life. It was something like that.
I just seen the one
it started real young,
Deion
man.
Sanders had just talked about, I think it was Deion Sanders or Shannon Sharp, I'm not sure, who was talking about like back in the day when they did the All-Star game. It was the Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about like, this is how we do the Pro Bowl. Like first 3 clips of Sean Taylor like ending somebody's life.
Ending somebody, man. This is how we do it at the U, man. So he represented that culture. I remember having to wrestle Sean. No, we ain't talk about that, man. So we're having to wrestle Sean because you just need to get stronger. You're like, it's crazy. But shout out to him, rest in peace, the GOAT.
Shout out to rest in peace to a legend, man. University of Miami legend, Washington. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Sad how it ended.
How it ended, but you know what I mean? But funny,
foolishness.
Legend, but he still lives on. They don't forget about him. Just in the Ring of Honor, just retired his jersey. Yep. So shout out to him, man.
Yep. So the Pro-Am League, we're talking about the culture of it. What we're trying to set the tone. And look, and I think that's all good. We want to put Miami on the map, but we also want to be different from the other, because this is what makes Miami. Miami, yeah.
So how we make it different?
I already know. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. It's an energy. I think our part in our MC too. He just knows he's real basketball. So Freddie's just straight basketball. Yeah. Everybody knows their lane. We got the commish Kyle that just makes sure he sets up the sponsorships. He sets up where the money gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? All the money plays. And then we got Debo, who's in charge of player personnel. He makes sure the teams are locked in, that they got these players, where the stars gonna be, who gonna pull up, and so on and so forth. So and obviously I control the entertainment and the music and
so now I have a question
for
you. Because now it's the Black Label. I can't think because I've been to a bunch of games, so I don't know why I can't remember. Are you playing music while they're playing?
So how we try to do it is like an NBA vibe. So what you're gonna do is get instrumentals and some of that some of the organ play like you hear at Madison Square Garden. And then as soon as the commercial listen to me. As soon as the timeout comes, I'm jamming. You know, halftime.
We in the vibe.
We jamming. We in the vibe. We send that Miami tone. Yeah. We bringing that energy so people can get up and rock out, or just bounce in their seats just to make sure that they know that the vibe is here, not just with the basketball game.
Yeah.
But with the music.
Craziest game you've watched so far? You got any crazy something that happened on the court? You was like, oh.
Well, a lot of things happened. I believe the championship game last year, just for one, you know what I'm saying, was pretty good. A lot of trash talking, but the energy in there is so good. I remember shout out to the Ballers, if those are on IG or Instagram and love basketball, they follow the Ballers Life East Coast Squad. They came to play, and they usually play guys on the court, you know, locally on the court, and they came to play, and none of them highlights and all that stuff. This is real basketball, so they did play well, you know, but a lot of respect to them. But they came and learned that, man, this pro-am ain't nothing sweet, you know. This ain't just a highlight reel. You got to come to play for real, and these dudes ain't gonna let you, you know, come in here and
they understand what's that. I mean,
but you got to remember, a lot of people look at them as YouTube highlight guys that are playing bottom feeders or whatever the case would be, and we invited them to come through. They didn't turn down the challenge. Then they came and they rocked out.
Put on a show.
Yeah, they put on. So we implementing things like that. Obviously, real basketball, still respecting the game, you know. But obviously, you got to build views and likes and so on and so forth in terms of the social aspect to get eyes on the pro league. So you know, I think we're doing a great marketing aspect, not only respecting the game of basketball, but also having the marketing tool to be able to reach new fans.
Yeah, of course, and that's just like do you approach this gig any differently than any other?
Heck yeah, this is one of the hardest gigs ever, because not only did I have to rock and play instrumentals and keep changing the vibe, I also have to. We have the specialty thing where I play sound effects, you know. So if you blow a layup, you might hear, "Dude, finish your breakfast." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If a small dude is trying to guard a big guy in the post, you might hear barbecue chicken alert. You know, so I have to be in tune with what's going on all the time. You know, it is a very tedious, mind draining event that I love.
Yeah,
because it keeps me on my toes, and it keeps me entertaining the fans, and they look forward to those particular. Like when I miss one, you can hear the fans being like, "Yo, you didn't play, the sound effect. You're not on your So you've implemented it so much, and you're on it so much that people expect it to come when they see a certain play happen or whatnot. But sometimes it's just a one-man job, you know. Sometimes I might miss a play looking for a song or doing something else. So, but for the most part, it is the total different approach than any other gig that I ever approached, man. It's definitely different.
But like anything, you rise to the challenge.
Of course, man. I think that's the point of being all around. If you're just a DJ, you just say. That's why I guess they have different ones. You got, are you a club DJ? Are you a wedding DJ? Are you a performance DJ? I'm all of them. You know what I mean? So
I just see it as you're an entertainer.
I think that's what it is. I think I adapt
to the situation.
If you need me to MC and come and talk to the people, I can do that too. And so I've just loved the 18 years that I've been doing this, you know, and the blessing that it's given me. It's taken me around the world. It's made me meet so many different people. You know, it's made dreams come true. You know, so I'm just blessed to be a DJ, man. So real talk.
Most of these jobs, are you doing like no drinks, just going through it? Like you in your own vibe, you get. I need the Black Label.
I need a Black Label. I see that, man. Nah, sometimes I need a little. You need a little motivation depending on how your days go in, you know, because we are still human.
Of course.
And your job is to make people feel better. So you're putting out an energy out there. So sometimes you might need a little injection, you know, of energy, of however you might take that. Some people are high on life, you know, so I don't need a drink to rock a party because I'm in a vibe to have a good time. But once in a while, you know, if you get a little drink in you, it sets a different tone. So I don't need it, but, you know.
Yeah, I do. To get on this, all these little cameras.
Then all this, you need a little vibe. You need a little vibe.
I need it. So what I want to do now is I want to let the people know how they can find you, where they can find you, what kind of parties they can, how do they book you, how do they reserve you. Let it all out there. Let the people know. And we're going to have everything that he says here. You can
right here,
listen to it. Yeah, it's going to be right there in the information section. We're going to put it all down below. His Instagram, you got a webpage.
I am DJ.
Yep.
Yeah,
so we're going to put the webpage. We're going to put all his information. You won't have any questions for him. If you have, whether you're a guy that's inspiring to be a DJ. Again, the whole point of this podcast is to inspire people, tell people stories. And what I like about it, again, and I always get this a lot of people like, oh, it's like you guys a lot of sports people on. I like to diversify life. Like I just like to learn from different people. Like what I've in this hour and a half that we've been here, I've learned so many different things of how he operates, how DJs operate, and it helps you get in a perspective of what people do, what they have to go through to get to a certain place. Right. And I respect that. So if you're inspiring DJ, I hope this or someone that wants to come into this field and wants to make moves. Hopefully this story has helped you out. Or, if you have any questions for him, I'm sure he's willing to answer. Hit him up on IG.
Anything, man. I'm here for the culture. And obviously good DJs moving forward. And I like to see the growth of DJs and because it may mean disc jockey, but you can move anything around, in terms of after you've learned the craft, So if you want to holler at me, man, I'm all social platforms. I am DJ Genesis, at I am DJ Genesis, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even my email at gmail.com.
Got it.
I am DJ Genesis at gmail.com. That's my webpage. I am DJ Genesis. We keep it uniformed around here. You know what I mean, D?
Yep.
So I'm just somebody that's found a craft that I love to do and I'm continuing to do, and it's something that I could do for a long time. I was rocking out to DJ that was in Dominican Republic a couple weeks ago. He was 59, 60 years old. He was killing it. Yeah. Killing it. This dude is up to time. And as you mature and as you get older, you understand that, what I'm saying, you got a craft and something that can live forever is music. As long as I love to do it, trust me, man. You could also find me at the Clevelander every Friday.
I saw. Is that like a routine gig?
Routine gig every Friday. You see me there every Friday.
I'm definitely coming
at the rooftop. Catch me there Friday. Yep. And Bar 1 every Sunday for the brunch 1 to 5. And Saturdays I keep it open for.
Right now for the spring break, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, it's nuts, man. It's a beautiful vibe. Yeah,
the guy that edits this thing was just over there spring break in the beach doing some model volleyball or something like
that. Yeah.
The hotel, yeah. Crazy over there.
We're not even gonna get into private gigs, man. The private gigs and the NDAs, things that I can't talk about, that's even better, man. And doing events with them and swimsuits.
Yeah,
we're gonna do a part 2. We
definitely doing a part 2. And listen, I appreciate everyone that showed up, that clicked on the episode and saw it. I hope you learned. Hope you got inspired. I hope it brought you some light. If you were wanting to become a DJ, hopefully this put you in the move. One thing I've learned from things that I've taken is networking is big.
Yeah.
Taking gigs is big.
Taking gigs, and I'm always say networking, that's inevitable. If you want to be something, you want to do it, you're going to naturally do that. No one is ever going to call you from your room. But make sure your technique is good. Work on your technique, especially mixing, MCing. It took me a long time to be a decent MC and get that voice.
Yeah.
I was cracking, didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
It takes time, but practice it and work on it daily. It's what I had to do. Right. And you'll be fine and build your selection.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Flavor in your ear. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, please. It helps out the channel a lot. You guys have been doing a great job. Only 5 weeks in. 151, if I'm not mistaken. So we're doing pretty good.
We're going to take a shot at 151 tonight, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Holla at me.
We out.